Sweet, sweet neck music.
That's not even me.
I'm Dustin.
And I'm Molly.
And this is
Views for Humans.
Teen Wolf.
Episode 2.
We open on young Isaac in his home with his
Isaac,
dad.
who we met last week.
He's the guy who Derek turned.
And he works at the cemetery, has
And,
an
yeah.
abusive father. He's horrible.
Starts off very civil. How are your grades, son? They talk about grades for a minute. And then
And
when
he
finds
starts
out.
throwing glass.
Yeah, throws this thing and it hits right above Isaac's head and he gets cut on the face. The wound heals.
Right. And then he runs away.
Yeah, he runs away. And Dad chases after him.
In the rain.
But Dad wears glasses and when he gets out of the car to try and find Isaac, and he sees something but he's not sure what it is, and it turns out it's some sort of creature that attacks Dad and kill him. Kill him dead. Allison goes to meet Scotty out in the woods on a cliff overlooking the city.
So they can neck.
Make some...
That means kiss.
And Scotty's like, so you're sure your parents are going to find us? And she says, no, it's date night. What does date night mean? Well, they go on a nice leisurely stroll down to the high school where they abduct and torture the principal until he quits. Who becomes principal in
Grandpa Hunter.
Grandpa Hunter. The police come to take Isaac away for the murder of his father. And Jackson lives across the street. It turns out that he saw Isaac and his dad fleeing the house when he was disposing of all the black goo. And so they're asking Jackson about it, and Jackson's like, I don't know, he was getting the crap beat out of him, I don't care. And Sheriff's Dad's
don't care
like,
about nobody.
yeah,
But
Sheriff's Dad's like, you're a dick. And Jackson's like, yeah, I'm a dick.
No, that didn't happen that way.
But basically. So then Stiles and Scotty get called into the office and they talk to Hunter Grandpa.
Very wiggly.
Why don't you tell us some?
Because you're just talking.
Go ahead,
I
lady.
can't keep up with you.
Go ahead.
Where did you leave off at?
After
I'm not listening. Oh yeah, Derek takes Scotty to Isaac's house because Isaac has been hauled away to jail and it's the full moon. They're all gonna change. So Stiles
goes to the police station to try and bust Isaac out.
After Derek drops Scott off at Isaac's house to like say some cryptic things to him and tell him he needs to lock himself away in this freezer.
Right. Which apparently Isaac's dad had been locking Isaac away in the freezer for a while, and that is super creepy.
Yeah. Stiles and Derek take off to the sheriff's department.
And
Derek
like, uses his beautiful, beautiful face.
That's all he has to do is say, hi.
Then Stiles goes in, but he runs into one of the werewolf hunters that the Argents have dispatched to kill Isaac. And there's a little mini fight where Stiles ends up pulling the fire alarm and things and
because Isaac freed himself.
Yes, Isaac gets out and he's gonna kill the hunter, but then
he looks extra
very wolfy. He's very good. He's a good werewolf look. I'm not a fan of the Scotty's werewolf look. He's very Eddie Munster still. So Derek comes in and stops him and then takes Isaac and then escapes.
He stops him by going growls, and his eyes glow red, and it's so cool.
And it turns Isaac back into a normal boy.
And he's so scared, and you kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, and Stiles is like, how you do that?
And he says, because I'm the alpha.
Yeah.
Bitch.
It was awesome. So meanwhile, back at Isaac's house, Allison has arrived.
And she is chaining Scott up in the freezer after she gives them a peck.
I love you.
They love each
I
other.
love you.
So he's like, you have to do it. And so she locks him up, and she goes upstairs. So she's just wandering around the stranger's house, you know, just like any other Saturday night.
Right.
And her flashlight goes dead, and there's a clicking, hissing noise, and there's a
thing in the house. And so Allison
freaks out, and he has to free himself because he hears Allison, and she's afraid, and he has to free himself, and then it turns out
it's a freaking lizard!
It's like a lizard guy!
Yes.
A new creature! How cool is that?
It's very cool. Oh, we didn't even mention how Jackson's not a werewolf! Jackson's not a werewolf, and it's the best thing ever!
So Jackson wakes up the next morning after having borrowed a video camera from his transition. He didn't change. He never changed.
That's my favorite thing that happened.
He was so disappointed. It was so great.
It was awesome.
So now it's time for
Scene of the week.
Yay! Oh no, my flashlight went dead and things are happening. Scotty, help me! Come help me, Teen Wolf!
Ah, Wolfman! Rah, Lizard Man! Rah!
And that was our scene of the week.
Hope you liked it.
We hope you do.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Dustin.
And this has been
Reviews for Humans.
Teen Wolf.
Rah, 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 rah.